Time. Speak a word and we will move. Speak a word and we will do. Speak a word and we will go. With God direct. Very good evening to you. Speak a word and we will live. A very good evening to you. Speak a word. A very good evening to you. This is Hope Inspirations live on Darling 90.9 FM. This is Hope Inspirations, and I'm your host, Godfred Bishops. This evening, we're going to have a very nice discussion, an interesting discussion, and I believe that you're going to be blessed. Yama wajo ba yen jumezido. Na yebezin komo kakra afa our good our jay na dembre ganambra okan ho asamofa. Yen show your friend Hope Inspiration Saturday be around on Sunday na as a bro ade. Yajizi de be yen shra yajizi de yebusuaze yajizi de hina yeba fans am be able to tutu yen hofo. We believe you'll be a blessing and you'll be blessed, and this program will be a blessing to you. And I want you to stay tuned for a while. You can call a friend to join us. You can join us on YouTube at Bishops Inspires if you are leaving the house. We believe there will be knowledge impacted this very evening. Just the Ebosian Zamabre in the Yumbri, the Ebesia, our goo, our J. Now, yes, the brother, and I yen papa pain kakra, our Unimembra, Wachembra, Embra, not Unimembra, so into Becha and Zamabre in the Yumbri. Yen say you make a crown, I was Sarah. All right, thank you very much. That's the brothers. We're free now to have the Hope Inspiration show as a bro. Saturday biara obono so na ye benzin komo kakra na nyame na adoma and the menya lawyer Nicholas Nyantechi ochre law nzama na so your private legal practitioner. Lawyer, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Bishop.
It's an honor having you on our show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
All right, and that's a bit brave. Inti ye pedis nkomo kakra I know say or no be catch you more.
I prefer more of English.
English, okay. And see, we want to talk about issues with divorce, what really it is in Ghana's law, and your and what you think will be to be a blessing to us. So lawyer Nicholas Nyantechi, when we say divorce, what really is it in our context, as in Ghanaian context?
Okay, thank you very much for having me this evening. I'm glad once again to be here. And very good evening to your cherished listeners. Before I go into what divorce is, we need to understand under our laws and our jurisprudence what marriage is, types of marriage we have, before we can proceed into how divorce come about. So basically, under our laws, there are 3 types of marriage that are recognized by our laws. I'm sure most of us
are very much
aware. Exactly. We have the customary marriage where and the parties that is the potential husband and wife come together. The traditional means or traditional requirements. There will be the Nsambeko na Abusianfuaji and an exchange of promises that they want to live as husband and wife. It's very important that we appreciate that when it comes to the customary marriage, the Bible and the ring is alien to customary marriage.
Okay.
A lot of us do make the mistake that the traditional marriage now and customary marriage now, or the Bible no the ring call.
Yeah.
In our jurisprudence, the tricky aspect here is that you are indicating to Obano Bushian for Obano by ordinance, because the Bible and the ring represents the ordinance.
Auntie dear, our na ya worry will feel no dear, and can ring in the Bible be uncommon. Our Ghana Brahmo.
Exactly.
So that
is a customary marriage.
Okay.
But most of us.
Yes, I see. I blended with Zara. I said,
so we will talk about it now. The danger with that, I'm sure we'll discuss it, is that then you have promised the woman marriage by ordinance. Until one are you for now? One ordinance.
Okay.
Now, worry a breach of promise to marry.
Oh, thinking that you did customary and you could marry as many as you
can be sued on that.
Once you have presented what the ring in the Bible,
there is a presumption
okay.
laws that you intend marrying the person through the ordinance way.
In Tiankabo person worry will feed dear. There was no need Bible no ring in according to Ghana. The Bible cry.
There was no Bible. There's no ring.
So
our customary marriage has nothing to do with the Bible and the ring.
And today, yeah, no just say enuntina am I a co assordim cotiason. Okay.
Okay. There is an indication that you want to move further.
Okay.
From just being a customary marriage.
Okay. Okay.
The reason being that customary marriage is potentially polygamous. What I mean by that is that we worry by customary norms are.
As long as I was
exactly. However, what the ring in the Bible, then you have to be very careful. Because not just our promise or ban is over the ordinance way. So that's the first type of marriage you have, which is a customary marriage. The second one is the marriage by ordinance that we know. And marriage by ordinance, friend wedding. That involves the Bible and the ring. And then you make a promise that you are going to, for better for worse, you are going to live with that particular person until death do you part, or until you are legally separated. And
I don't even think about
I don't come about exactly. And then beyond the wedding, your court, me a year. If you do not court, go and sign the documents, indicate the marriage certificate. That is the ordinance.
Once you present a Bible and a ring, I will feed and that's the right thing to do. Is that so?
Then you've only made a promise.
Okay, so it's like you have announced that let's go further.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the third one is the Muhammadan marriage, as we all know, by our brothers and sisters in the Islamic religion, and also the NOC potentially polygamous. I say you can marry, I think by four exactly, as deep as your pockets can exactly. So these are the three main types of marriages recognized by our laws. And these are the marriages. When you marry through the customary marriage, you are legally married. When you marry through the ordinance, you are legally married. And when you marry one of them or both decide that they want to separate, and that's why I use the word you are legally married, then that legal process through which that your best separate is what we call divorce.
Yeah. So first one, is that also legal? You have to use a legal way to divorce it.
Is it the customary
one?
Because it's recognized by our laws.
Okay.
However, you can decide to have your divorce in the house,
in the family way.
Okay. But then the laws will permit you to still go to court if you prefer.
Okay.
The reason being that if you are not properties, I'm sure we will discuss that. If you are not properties, if you are not crowd, if you are not drinking, so the coffee, so divorce no fear. You might think that you may not be fairly treated by your spouse or the family in terms of the.
Just a customary one, no crown. Say a complicated that. Also the court law.
Yes.
Okay. Mohammedans, the other say. Oh, sir.
So they are all recognized by.
It's not compulsory to come to the court to solve that one, or
when it comes
to as in the two. I'm talking about the Mohammedans ones and the customary ones. Is it by force? And I when
it's not by force. Say if you are until me
okay,
and it will be legally accepted by the court.
That's what I wanted to find out.
The two families agreed. So if the two families do agree that you should go your separate ways, the court will recognize it as a divorce. So generally, since our laws legally accept these marriages, as I said, a kind of first one is orientum and non a friend
divorce. Okay.
So that is divorce. Then we have a second one which most of us are not privy to, and nullity. We call it nullity.
Okay.
Nullity nature say if the court give a decree of nullity, it means that our end never existed in the first place.
So we've heard of some in some of the foreign
issues. Exactly. And then as I said, I'm sure we'll go into details, but divorce, no, to me, you can only present a divorce 2 years after marriage.
Oh, then how is it that we keep hearing?
Unless you can establish the court. I'm sure we will go through the
process. What makes
you can establish to the court that you are really in danger and then you are really suffering.
Okay.
If not, the court will not listen to any petition for divorce within the first 2 years of marriage.
Oh, okay.
Right. So within the first 2 years of the first year, if you want any separation, it comes through nullity.
Okay.
And nullity, the grounds for a nullity, which have been indicated are so on records, it will be wiped off.
That's these two never existed.
You were not a divorcee.
Okay.
You were never married.
You were never married.
And you've never divorced.
So you as if your sins are wiped away.
Yes, you go back to ground zero. So nullity, the grounds are quotation is maybe at the time of marriage, na mubako sebina dream can from sound mind, and then this was not known.
As in the mental state of the person was not known to the other.
Exactly. There was a venerable disease.
Okay.
I mean, we know
that we couldn't discover.
Venerable disease, and it was known to
the person,
but then he hid it from
the spouse.
Other, and of course, impotence could also come in there, and then
impotence is okay. We'll come to that. We'll come to
and then failure to consummate the marriage.
Oh, okay. Asking to have sex.
Exactly.
After you've done all of the things.
A deliberate refusal on one part.
I thought that was 6 months or so, or it's 4 years.
No, you are given a year. So within that period, if nothing like that happens, you can present to court for the court to nullify.
That would be an interesting one.
So that one is there. That is nullity.
Okay.
And then we have the divorce. So now I think maybe we can.
Yeah. Now we can look at the at least see action and at least we've gotten the foundation.
Exactly.
Into Siciano. Say obi pese divorce here na say obi pese divorce here and then obetumi gyina so e wo Ghana mbremu ode aye say kasa we need to no me de be we kwa de me de call court even for say fearful pantie me a because e bia on say no kan customer one no ode akoba de busuafo no empese mo gitum say mo nja ware
no be catch us as
sa asesa ma kofi oba da asesa de ma kofi ba asesa sakro inti sa no wo ba na asa be ma no even though it was customary then I'll be and answer whichever one it was then I'll be to me gina so pa court beka say we die ye be to me tie case no
they can say who call for divorce I kept saying parties there are some court in a friend petitioner on a petition court and at the there some no etian respondent into the court say person jaware on a petitioner and at the respondent friend respondent I may cancel because maybe I'll be using
that one
now say court be ever granted divorce, there's only one ground.
One.
There's only one sole ground.
That's interesting. You're making it difficult to.
Yes.
At home they didn't accept it. Now we are coming to court.
Yes,
only one.
there's only one sole ground.
Okay.
And the ground is that the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. That's the only ground. The court will never grant a divorce unless the court has satisfied itself that the marriage has actually broken down beyond reconciliation, and that is very key. Wow. So without satisfying the court,
that's the question I wanted to ask.
Yes, without establishing that, the court will not even listen to you.
What our way dear baby a dear and son a court no because sometimes the reason why we are asking these things is that sometimes the religious connotations to divorce, you understand? And people dying in marriages, and people's children being raped in marriages, and all of those things. But still, you say, Nenyamia join Akabo, men separate. But Bible now also do baby, do not Moses crack. I say, Jesus Christ, I say, Moses gave you a certificate of divorce because of the hardness of your heart. So it means that there are some things that can, according to, well, I'm not a theologian, so I don't want to. So you can't Ghana, brother, you know.
Yeah.
Then let me present here better say. We did. I already into me say
so and also your man has made room for such.
Okay. Well defined.
Okay. Well defined and well explained by the statutes and case law.
Okay.
You can statute can yemrana ya treo book.
Okay.
Na case law, case law yasemna ye di court at the law no ye emphasis skeleton and a case law no ye flesh.
Okay.
Until the law no court.
The judges now
agreeing opinions exactly and only case law. Until before I established the marriage has broken down beyond reconciliation. Onyema 9 in Numbia, you have to fall within one of them.
Oh, within one of them.
Yes.
Okay. All ears are listening.
At least.
It is on your man way now.
At least one. You should be able to establish one.
No cry. I'll bet me a catch
exactly.
Judge now.
Exactly.
Obama Wariano.
Okay.
But
so the first one is adultery.
Hey. Any exciting bro.
The first one is adultery.
So if you are no bano, on you be a
yes, adultery, and then you, the petitioner, not just there are some finds it that behavior into intolerable for the person.
So and not just on your picture now on your video.
No, we have what we call circumstantial evidence. For example, if you are married, that's a Sabi, and a DNA by what circumstantial evidence.
Oh, okay.
But it's clear indication that
baby.
Exactly. So one but there's circumstantial evidence. We cried a documentary. The other kind of circumstantial evidence been say na wajao hoko na nukunu vi wajao be about 2 weeks 1 week you it's been proven that on
Oshobema for
and Oshoba for
exactly
if you can establish all that because say adultery the burdens of
you can exactly nowadays that's I just say I'll be here the self video
exactly and no court news to their friend circumstantial evidence but what documentary evidence they say DNA so I'll be present it but the no I was check court and say
adultery.
At the time now they petitioning by and it's been more than 6 months.
Wow.
It's been less than
6 months.
Yes.
That's all you be die, no.
Say if within this that period in 6 months say only still you were living like husband and wife and the court will listen to you. But say only acting beyond 6 months after knowing
that thing has happened.
The court will not listen to you.
Oh, sir.
I said you have waived your right. It means you can live with the person.
Ah, they just a show so now. Who's any pan you'll be a question baby now?
I now for more than 6 months and you expect the court.
Oh, okay.
It's
I don't look around. 6 months.
At the time now, yes. At the time now, who said Nipano? Exactly. You should make sure that now and like husband and wife. Exactly.
Okay.
And then the second ground is what we call unreasonable behavior, and this is very wide.
Yeah, I mean it's so vague to say unreasonable behavior.
Exactly. So the court takes into consideration so many things.
Okay.
Some behaviors are clearly unreasonable. You are living with your partner, then if you would deny sex intimacy. I mean, it does say normal. I wouldn't be. And I say normal. Unreasonable behavior for a long period of time.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. The court has so many ways of.
Yeah, because the word unreasonable behavior, not just I did be an impano a shower so or how on my own live sound. Exactly. Okay. I didn't have a favorable cacao.
I can tell you the most of us.
People who based on that.
Most of lawyers, because
unreasonable behavior. Then the person is very subjective. Because of be a and no, and what the unreasonable to me, and
yeah, but it says something like intimacy, and something
like
and I say something like we all have our duties as husband and wife.
Okay.
They're defined rules, even though they are not absolute. Yeah. Then you deprive your partner or spouse of those, then you have been unreasonable.
Okay.
You have been unreasonable. So all those things.
Much a petition.
And I say you have even been violent.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you have been violent, abusive, whether
it's violence, words, or just is it just words or?
No, you have to establish. That's why you have to prove to the court that it has broken down beyond reconciliation. So you just don't go by.
Okay.
And the law provides that the court has to do its basic investigation to ascertain itself. So against all the court not granting court nankasa will
they have to establish
itself.
Yes,
and if it has not broken down beyond reconciliation, they'll tell you to go back
and work it out.
Exactly. In fact, before they even grant you, we will talk about that. We will talk about reconciliation first before they even grant. Exactly.
Let's go to the third one.
So the third ground, desertion.
Yeah,
but desert for almost 2 years.
As in consent, and I say with few in
desertion, you don't even know 2 years.
Yes. Okay.
So that the court will grant you.
Yes, it be our co school, and I say okay, but that's on one can say few.
Exactly.
Does the person have to take something from home? No. And I say, but the nanka say 50 and go. Okay. Be a contract mammy fear 6 months, 4 months. Okay.
Then the next one is when the two parties are not living as husband and wife for 2 years.
How can you establish someone is not living as husband and wife?
It does happen. And then under that you need the consent of the respondent. Okay. So in that case you have a husband and a wife. They are living in the same house. They are living under the same roof. And then the respondent or respondent say, oh, you're worried, but it's not working. For the past 2 years. So when you get the consent of the respondent to petition the court, and the court will inquire into it and realize that but you are not living
husband and wife.
So that one you need the consent of the respondent. Then the next one is when you are not living as husband and wife for 5 years. That one you don't need the consent of the respondent. So for 5 years, communication.
So be about the bra.
Exactly.
Be about the bra.
So they don't live like husband and wife. So for 5 years.
For 5 years, they are not dear. And yes, in Pana,
you don't need the consent of the
court not to say.
Exactly.
5 years when you are busy.
So
basically,
if able to establish anyone,
just one cry.
or
Adebi atete what can in that's what we need pass of oh, okay. So then you would need a lawyer to present this for you, Anna,
yes,
to petition this. Okay.
You can do it on your own, but the technicalities involved, it's advisable
so
that
a lawyer,
because how to draft the petition itself, you need legal guidance.
I just want to ask, maybe a little digressive, but also digressing. Have you seen like people who you think they should divorce, but I say, be being to your own person with divorce?
Now, what I have witnessed
from law perspective,
yes, what I've witnessed most is they are doing everything to make sure they divorce. That one I have seen. I have seen quite a number.
So
everything in their capacity
to also be divorced.
Oh, okay. And then you ask yourself, say,
I didn't know worry.
This one time they profess love to each other, and all of a sudden you can see hatred. You can see it's not easy.
That switch or that change, it's really interesting. Okay, I love you. All of a sudden, I say you just want the person out of your life.
Exactly. That human.
Yeah. So that's the another question. When you feel say, nimpana wanted it to know, doesn't follow the reasonable behavior. Say nimpana wanted it to know. The way an impano or might be like who feel say impano you bekun.
Oh yes. Why not? If
on kind, but one kasa nimpana on it to say nipa way and yami obey bonipa.
You see, the court is a court of records and a court of law. And the shed down corner for our dream. You need something to show to the court. Say, Benini partner, Suma City. Why A, B, C, D, I think say my life is at stake, and for that reason I think I need a court to grant me a divorce. So if any partner should be doing one or two things, I remember what Timmy just go by word of mouth.
There was this many a times in the movies. You see that some people, even in the Nigerian and the Ghanaian one now, I don't know if it's really professionally right, say, to me divorcing that their parents are not aware. In our part of the world now, we are customary and sana more be real. Those things is a real.
You don't need the consent of your parents.
No, but I understand that. Just as you said, no, sometimes a person will call divorce. Now they in many of the cases that I've heard, the registrar at the will tell you that go home.
Yes.
Now more only bushing phone can sana.
So that is the part. It's provided by the law.
Oh, okay.
It's provided that the court directs the two parties to try settlement. In effect, the court does not take delight in granting divorce.
Okay.
That is the basis. The court does not take delight because of the repercussions, the potential repercussions, especially in Krauma. You know the effects. You know how a broken home or a divorced home, the effect on the kids. And so the court generally, that's how our laws were made.
Okay.
So when you go, you will be asked, the court to direct you to try to settle it. And you will have to establish that all efforts to reconcile has failed. And that is why the sole reason is that it has broken down beyond reconciliation.
Okay, so beyond reconciliation, to almost answer a fair
yes, so you will attempt reconciliation. Okay. And if it doesn't work out, then
I understand even the court sometimes can
they
give
can intervene.
that kind of
before
intervene. They even come to the
exactly. Wow. Before you go to court for the court.
Don't you think you are frustrating people who want to get divorced?
No, really, because one, marriage is something that we do voluntarily.
Yeah.
And then the laws are there. You decided on your own volition to
go get
yourself into that. Exactly. So you can, the law cannot just permit you to just
divorce like
come in and then go anytime. You should know that there just like it's an institution, as we all know.
Sure.
So just like any institution, there
are issues.
There are rules and guidelines.
Yeah.
It is a Wako University, Wako Secondary School. You just don't get in. You decided to pick your things from your house and come to the institution. the moment you get in, you have to follow the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
So that is how marriage is. It's an institution, and it's guided by Umari
yeah, I just
what break anything down beyond Obia. But since you decide out of your own volition, voluntarily, then that one, the court will not permit you to do what you want.
Before we open the phone lines, what other information do we have to look at?
Well, I don't know if we will want to talk about the spousal property.
Yeah, that is the part that
you want us to talk about. I want us to.
No, we are talking about it now. Okay. We have about an hour more. It's if we can nkomo afa our jail who na the Ghana mbra oche na mesima inso yebetase nti yenya lawyer Nicholas Yantechi no nyezu nkomo kakra pede bubu phone line bia wo question bia bibi sana sana ya kobe bia yebezi nkomo afa how say your properties number from our no actually no properties.
Oh, no, children they are issues. They are not properties.
They are properties. Okay, all right. So, the honestly, you're being there. It's the phone line about my friend. Do 0242088899 0242088899 0242088899. Then your lawyer Nyantichiwa had it say nkomozi wo aworije na properties share na azano ye busy on the years home nkomozi but my friend na show adwuna na ebisa na sembia. If you're on the YouTube or on Facebook too, you can give us your question or your contribution. A member was in baby men can be if you member was in because a little bit sensitive in the Abia Pede Yehu Ubia, but the bottom straight Nebisa Asama Pedebisa. Number is 0242088899. So let's talk about Sisiano. What has the law got to say with this? Okay, somebody is calling. All right. Hello, good evening. Okay, what's your yeti? Okay, Lord, do you understand?
Yes. I
understand. Oh, yeah, yatase.
Yes.
Nti yebe yano. Yatase papa. Okay, nti obe you ano ai. Okay. Yezu nkomo fa our yezu nkomo. Sorry, somebody was calling. I'm sorry. Yezu nkomo fa our our jail who na Ghana Mbram is more things. We also was some be say about my friend was 0242088899. Lawyer, you may have to write some of them because the questions keep coming. Yeah. All right. So. Hello. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening. But your. Yes, a frafra. Kakra. But you yati. Yeah, baka. Okay, you be na ebusuafo ya we do water. When there has to be some. All right. So let's answer the two before.
Yes, to our sisters, the first question.
First question.
Yes. But I was saying, yes, traditional marriage, no.
Sorry for the interruption, please. All right. Hello, good morning. Good evening, sorry. Good evening.
Not the same ready for the world. People are feeling to the same mistake around, but the same law of a quarter can the court granted divorce in Amazon.
All right, about you, lawyer be you are no, I lawyer be you are no. All right, so let's answer the first two then.
Yes, the first. The fact is, I would say traditional marriage.
I think
and your prerequisite for.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is that be say a question out to 7:40. Now, on my lawyer in now because people keep calling.
Yeah, then we can.
So that we can take our time to answer it. Okay, this we have missed this one. So
right. They mentioned there, or there is that the traditional marriage, if you our and yet prerequisite
on
for court aware.
Oh, okay.
You're separate from court. I recognize.
Into once a while, why
you are married.
Auntie say our
you are legally married.
The Ghana Brano oji to me the hour.
Exactly.
But also being super or divorce
yes, until they will go through any of the
Auntie Ghana Brano General there, the mass no ya war man. Auntie be
court sign or
Aunt once our court aka sign is se being pedo jan or do bambrim and son was me jan.
Unto me fan penyan, unto me fan sang course or jan.
Oh,
court sign it wouldn't say coffee, Debbie.
Okay. Into be okay, lawyer, we have a question here. Yeah, good evening. But show what me lower way kakra na. For the lawyer, be you are no I. But how many years? 5 years. Okay, so lawyer be you are no. So I think, do I have to write it or you,
yes,
you remember all of them?
For now, I remember the Mobusena, but okay. The way the questions are.
All right.
I mean, if I could get a pen.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. All right.
So if I could go on with the second
yes,
one.
Yes, the second. So Besiano, first caller no. I'm Bragan and Brum War and onto fashion up around Majana Keke. Or Dokom Brum. Okay, all right. The second one.
And to them being you know Kowari or Banachia, a bigamy, a criminal offense, or bit made them.
Ombet me actually Beman. Oh, okay.
Then the second caller no me benin na obusa se one be besia tenafie no ne em so ne na twempena say empena twe de ye laws no do not really recognize it say aware enya aware enti sa wo no bi ti na se mo twempena na se wo pese wo ne ni jaya enu no enhia se obekọ court ana se obekọ akohu lawyer because enu no yentimi define enu eti ono obi twempena na se wo pese no ni jaya wo hwe na se enkuye na pese no ni jaya no an se mo mate mo ho ase na mo jaya because sabi empena twe no enye aware. So that is for Yenyana no so no bit no.
Ena ne obisa so say friend say a warm back for 5 years.
And grounds na me boy any nyana no. And grounds say would be to me a jawari so no be awari in funum a warm. The only way I obitim there no ground say ebia na besiano na onim say ontimi nwo.
Na ebia onim say bibi no na wanka.
Ontimi na wanka. Ebia onim say they did come or Arabia on to me one bia. Medical people, Libya, Nibian, you trust by ye, and a one can't you.
I'll be a queer abortion, and answer Berman answers when your moms be my exactly. Hano won't me say, Emma,
no son, a no dear nice or what they see. And even that nobody make of formality for the court to even.
But make now say
our
muscle into bit me a jam okay.
But say a noon bibian was now a one name there. Untimi engine. I was
I was say more together now more.
Exactly. And no any grounds for divorce.
Okay. Okay.
So I think so far those are the questions. Me know say my missy be so.
But you miss be out, but you
can.
I've just say your pen I church will be I. All right. So let young call to the CCR. Wow. Okay. Nipa no refer. All right. Yes. Good evening. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. I want to say it's a mistake. Okay. Okay. To help you. Yeah. Okay, so what can the court?
That circumstance, no. You. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are at the mercy of Obano, you know. Because we begin clearly one person be down. Would you say from son and now you say Yambo na equip your marriage or home. But a adultery, a grounds.
And also say once our coffin and change the Oban bit me jail.
Obit me now.
Until I say open counselors be now until court so bad bit me.
Oh yes, court beat you.
But course bet me ama obi bet me 2 or 4
yes,
okay.
Court bet me ama and or ban crack because and the court no be share no awaban would demeanor.
How
in court will quite fast to share with demeanor.
Say no cross a mistake.
And
as a person play Obano. Okay.
But I no and I'm you are the mercy of a year. Because still Obano so no obey to establish the evidence about so no biawa.
And this Obano who and I just had opposite. You say yes, I cannot cover.
Because you fall under adultery.
But the court can help. Into me a banana.
Exactly. Into said you all can say and whoaba why remorseful wouldn't say mistake. But court into me for so ban. Only the say court be and
be casa.
Said the bear movie.
Send the assault for so in the casa. Councillors in the casa. Into a mummy no year about court so of course no be casa.
Ban insist here. The court cannot compel
because once I don't why the why.
A mistake.
You say yes to the Sakara cover. All right, yeah. At least Jide, them very Jide, Bia, and Yankopo de Saka Obana Kuma. And I said, court ni Obana Kasama, I had a Juka cry. Maybe some for some brim say.
And these things no so minim say minu be me on one answer man ye should be from my and from so but a dream may be a from so natural actions and a better say Obano.
How I want your Obano Casa exactly. I will think I said the Biana call on Mumu Kona then a wire. Okay. It's we and then a wire found because me sure say you no man and just about why not drink say. Why you be a check? You mark it down. A man on more pocket to be able to keep record. Rosa, that made you say,
they don't forget.
All right. So I think we should go forward and I think we've answered all the questions.
Yes. Sure. You know about award and patch our award grounds.
And ultimately,
the only explanation man no nimpa and one or the seal and I say your boss are not beman nim say untimingo
no
and one can and the seal. If you can establish that then yes.
All right. I see and then my bro finish share so be loyalty chi yankopon adoma na ye din komo afa our go ne ye wager pade how I betumi aye den ache e wa our go mu intisi a ne hu our go ne intisi a no ejapade so e Ghana mbra no te sei wo
that's bishop ye can you go our area now where you will be a friend spousal property
be our properties
spousal property say ejapade bia ye me no ye ware ye nyaa ye
Ewa wari mu.
Ewa wari mu na ne friend spousal property.
Did me once na me wari
nka spousal property.
Oh sir.
Say na wo dan wo ka wasi wo dan wo ato asase eno nya spousal property.
Did me menya wo awari mu no.
Ye be wari ye share wari ye no. Ejapade bia ye mienu. Se me nkwa na mto yo so me no na to yo.
As long as I
say yin wo awari mu came during the subsistence of the marriage. A bra warrior edaso ehono. A spousal property and spousal property a warrior no a Japade.
Tibet miache. Yes, sir.
There is a presumption. Say a menodia.
The unya sana awari dear. And our go bar no income. Okay.
Ultimate check code say auto kansana. Warrior na usi udayan sana warrior. And it goes both ways for Barney Behrman.
Okay.
Na say ya kind sana awari mu ejapade no. Me say a presumption.
Yeah.
In law, you can't presumption. A presumption there. Nichi be me there.
And don't stress say sanity.
And yet absolute.
And it's just a sanity, but you really say sanity. Okay.
And no stress say you worry you know. And your man na yeah.
You mean dear.
But emran who say
sanity. Okay.
Name mum mitimi backward number prove say adewe minyana awari mu na me name mum. Miami dia na mitimi prove record say Miami dia.
That's from beginning to crinkling. Wow, dear.
So it's a presumption. And if you can rebut that presumption, you can rebut that. If you can give credible evidence to the fact, say, it's hard any marital property.
To which me defend who say, I deal with no, even though our emuna minyano mum de mum no, and you mean in idea.
And no,
any difficulty.
No, the intiam etisano, and they say. The Dikaino in the late 50s. Na ye court who say Oba and Mano or Mubwa Beman when ye Japade. And in the late 50s, even now your court knows our Jaya Bar. The
who say
that times the Mubwa Beman
because those times no member ye Juma.
Okay.
And
your bar late 70s, 80s no. Na system ni change afi na ye
ma no so
juma na afi omo so
edi si are betu aba so obare dia e na be ba do boa no
so afi ye court ni move from say ye man be boa e no mba be a friend substantive contribution ti afi court be awari ja ye ba na ajapade wa wari ma court person mu substantive contribution dear na
oba no
wo ye e ma sa
ajapade
yes
okay mu na then
am you contribute
then and ahwode kan
na onu aduane ma wo su niema ebra nwure a ni nyina substantive contribution yes
and na na da nyina
peace of mind
oh can you contribution or consumer on okay do to be kase me na me sika ye ahwode no de ye no se kan
na wo ko bai wo adwuma ba nyo bi si niema
okay
say uniform na de ko adwuma uniform na de ko
card ko bre twitwi
Every other child dinner now then the Quajuma.
Oh, okay. And then yes, come on. Oh, okay.
So the court moved away from Sa position any about substantive contribution to the point that and Utimi even prove Emremuno court muno, your favorite document, your different types of evidence. Ubusami about adultery, circumstantial. Any old documentary court, any documentary evidence of
near what mean your picture now, video, and I say,
your dining see, and I say, oh, your banner interest. So, mean I'm to iron rosemary city me. When I'm toast mint receipt,
you will try your rose number.
Can't tell me your mind, Lomokoto.
But it's a young munko focus the program.
Exactly, because the court felt that now a man who were the weaker side. Exactly. It's name ran also bomber, your mamma, near your mamma. And say Utimi prove substantive contribution. I did Adibia Munya and Japaden, Mutisi, Mutu Talkers, Munya Lanza. Court number shed, dear we had the boy. Now court on Saturday, the Bearman yet the boy, and I achieved Nafi percentage. I know court at the discretion of the court. Contribution, court the whole contribution.
And about
quantify the own Sabeka. It's a friend of substantive contribution.
Oh, okay.
and court share hona so not still still na as still na yes see MSA phone still
so a man of my drum was out from A to Z man of my drum was out. What do you remember?
The 1992 constitution by if you read Article 22 of the 1992 constitution, it provided for constitution provided for say our jaye ba yenche enyemano equitably equitably equitably
and I pepe okay equitable it's not equal
means it should be fair.
Okay,
it should be reasonable.
Okay,
it should be conscionable.
At least obia kuma betoni.
Okay. So what is fair?
Okay.
Now your courts no realize that okay, and then on the presumption of that, then the court started doing equality is equitable.
Just
at
least 50-50.
It's something that is conscionable. It's something that is fair. Something that is reasonable.
Now contribution and do 50% so.
And no na court no so call one or musa who say our cases no where those so the court was being presented with different issues all the time. So the law had to develop. Because say the next time the facts never be told when apply old one and the man out to say. So they have to develop a new one.
Okay.
So with equality is equitable. Then they realize that a man protecting man of whom was a man of some principles say equality is everything. 50-50 the court realized that no, it can't be like that. So the position of equality is equitable. It's still there. However, the court picked case by case beyond the way a court in the corner. It deserves 40%. Who deserve 30%? Because we are talking about equity here, so it has to be fair. It has to be conscionable. Yes, that's in the so. Now they will equitably.
Equitable doesn't mean 50-50.
It doesn't mean but the original position of the law
was 50-50.
Makes it 50-50. But as I said, as
cases
nearby, then the court realized that no, if we keep on doing it this way, then people are taking advantage
because there are
the
cases Obano and I say Obano sit down will be a beman away. Na Berman sit down Obano Yahweh. No meaning as Sasu sit down. As I say, the other side, I are no munya properties. No, everybody can say, oh, okay.
You can identify.
Oh, okay. Now, almost one way or more, any unknown demon name or by was a banner should I want to mammy deem, and as a Berman should I want to Yakatu be deemed. And also,
that becomes difficult because you can't give what you don't have. And you can't give what you don't have.
But with no receipt, I should say, I'm not told. I don't want to say
land in it's very difficult. You can't give what you don't have.
Human beings, you are finding a way around the system.
You can't give what you don't have.
Okay.
So that is how it works. And as I said, as for the equality, the court permits that. Our courts really likes the equality principle. But then when they realize that it does not fit, they are flexible. Na omo gumu kakra. Na fe omo make sure say ebeye ade a obia
be say near media shemu no na me nya no ba because me sure say obia aware for 10 years and obia aware for 30 years che ade because they are 30 years we invest a lot and
no but said no so be gina japade a obi betimi aware 10 years na japade o be nya
no ba mum de
30 years nya and ti said the be man boa oba no
said ti no omo ya case by case and tell okay
taking into cognizance and no kind of answer omo a reference on the Article 22, which says that we everything has to be done equitably.
Okay.
And in as much as say, omuhena se chain 50-50 ne ebe
ya
chain 50-50. Say yen 60-40 ne ebe ya near any. And there are cases, but maybe
I understand.
Junior case be no ata no football wager kaso baby on say obano call for 50-50 court si derby omushe ebra be manabo any the okoye ya omuntimi and 50-50 yeah near penny or that recently also divorce case and also the court said that derby into me and then but there are instances where the court also has gone ahead to Aman 50. So and the facts being presented to the court.
And when you're good lawyer, so
it's very important. You pay good money.
You're lawyer for Pasua. And
then mean
I can also
pay good money.
I can't love you, pa. I could do so. All right, and come on, dear. Our offense our go near our jay dear Ghana Brano and Mahu Quine and the Ghana Brano agree. Yeah, but sounds so beautiful lines and say, oh, assembly bisa lawyer, but to me, bisa fat our area who pay. Okay, our area wants some near kind. And now, Manu 0242088899 0242088899 yentie de Ghana mbra ekafa aware ho anyway. All right, hello, good evening. Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
Your call has been put on hold. Please wait.
Hello. All right, so okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Pacho ETO. Man with Japan. A man with Japan. Okay.
We be in why a betchenty. You will go and no be a convey.
Anyway, you are the faster.
But one thing I'll say, taking to
I think someone is calling again. All right. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening. Pacho. Pacho Yeti. Yeah, Pacho Yeti. Pacho Yeti. Paper. Oh, paper. That's over here. Watch my but my imagine your property. People are the way now. But my yeah, no. It's a walk. I say, 0242088899. Oh, and that's not fair. Hello, good evening. Yeah, good evening. Okay. 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 Nyanko Besiana Benyin. Okay. Oh, okay. 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 Pacho, you want to say lawyer be you one. Pacho, lawyer be you one. Why? All right. This is a very serious issue. This is a very serious issue.
But clearly, it falls under the reasonable behavior.
Okay. Until young Koruchina on Tiasi.
Until no.
All right. Lawyer, I'm touching for chair. Right. Then you respond with. Oh, but lower radio. Yeah, hello, lower radio, man. What's so good evening? What's what lower radio now, man? But you too. But you too. You too. You too. Busy right.
Osi Dinance and Obehu Obano.
Oh, lower radio, let's say one had. Lower radio, let's say one had it. Lower radio, let's say one had it. Lower radio, let's say one had it. I tell phone no.
And to see Dinance and Obaneba. And a wow, dear.
And your banner there.
A wow, their name say a bearman, a bearman, the Oban who name say a Chinabino, Sebi,
Tidiacano, or
a Chinabino, who knew why. A Chinabi wouldn't know why.
Yeah, let me, I'll go off air. Now, what's your radio? So, why? Till radio, no, so. All right.
And under such circumstances, make us
the first one. Have we answered the first
one? The first one, friend, Miss Obetimia Kwanda, reasonable behavior. Say, Obanin your manner or yeno. A tetino, ama, on Timinin now, Obetimia present you, and especially say, I can't call legal aid, and no Bana Casa Ninano. These are evidence.
I just said,
court say, what try all other avenues to resolve it, but then, all
right, can we get this one to then? You can, yeah. Hello, good evening. Pocho, you tell question. So, good evening. You tell question. Okay, Patrick. Yeah, no. Oh, okay. 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 Ghana mbra okan fa ho. Oh, okay. All right. But your lawyer say okay. I think we'll pick two more. We'll pick two more and then lawyer will answer all of them. Yeah, pick two more calls now. I feel you enjoy answers no I Pocho. All right, hello.
Hello, Leon.
Pocho. Pocho. Now moment. Okay, so but so you answer the 1 minute not so the jar into pay jan not for Japan. I hope you understand. Yeah. I say opesa konti sa de on your own kwe. It's at your own corner on your day. Obejana pen in Korano. Mbran to say okay, last one na a lawyer answering na. All right, hello. Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. I'm going to have this question about
yeah.
Okay. 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 Lawyer, you are. I think it's true. That's a no for campus. Wow, the case in the coffers no now who bet chill so I think you have to give us your legal advice. My lawyer answer we are a call I brief here. My lawyer answer my why we are now phone lines. Okay. All right.
Okay, so you know they can beside no say Obana na down for Abamo say on the on Jana down for in the
also so you could be Jan na obekona obe choose between no na yankono
a ground unreasonable behavior the idea or ya
etete bema no
etete no nti say otimi kokod no timi design ma we nyina akọ na
say na ya na yes oba no ready to say anything
exactly
nti put a very easy for ana
and a second person
nti o person o ka say ebetumi gina no so
yes
no o ja ware
aware no under such circumstances our real legal abam abusu abam ni nyina it clearly is breaking down if it has not broken down already. And then in your back say oh sini dan asan no ware na make say no na nya marital on say me check marital property
ne o nya ware mu no okay
ha na emum say chine bi no ni ho no mu a na onye will na dey also hu say na yire no NDC law na yire no wo share on the properties
I don't know yes or no wu a necessary even though we jaware
no
okay
besides oban who woman
okay
at the time the Monday you fancy divorce ba that property young classified as marital property
sadan because o see answer no wire
but still now we together na section bin be man new ha there cannot be an excuse that oban na ne hu ni munti because you betcha ni estate ni cha oban ne ma benya bi
but ojara ware dia
ojara ware ne ma ne
benya but oban de onya okay
and in back who say no can desertion so assistant
and also oban no call for if you assistant no ma fifi nti eno no say no
or say oba and oba no so oba oba no say one pam no ne bana or best son in near man or son in my free say na me can say divorce no after 2 years or so worry 1 year this or bomber day no to ne bona
2 years
yes no
even though you're comfortable
yes because the grounds not the back on unless or call for nullity and that's what say especially say he's suffering